you would pressure them and you would point out that systematic corruption?
More than pressure them. They would see me in their home states.
Bernie Sanders was interviewed by Cenk Uygur on the Young Turks. Now, at one point in this interview, Bernie said something that he hasn't yet discussed, and that's his strategy to actually get bills passed as president. Watch.
Now let's talk about if you win the presidency. Let's say you're President Sanders, you got inaugurated and you're in office, and you push for Medicare for all. You've said you're going to.
Absolutely.
And I think one of your strengths is that people believe you when you say you're going to push for Medicare for all. But let's say Democratic senators, put aside Republicans for now, Joe Manchin, Michael Bennet, whoever they might be, say no. What do you do?
Look, what I have said a million times is that real change does not emanate from Washington, D.C., or in fact from the president. It emanates from the people. And the role that I will be playing as president of the United States is not just sitting in the Oval Office. I will go to West Virginia, which is one of the poorest, most desperate states in this country, and I will rally the people of West Virginia. And I will go all over this country to demand that members of Congress and members of the Senate do what needs to be done. And that is to pass a Medicare for all single-payer program and to have the guts to take on the power of the drug companies who are ripping us off every day and the insurance companies. So the strategy of this president, of a President Bernie Sanders, which may be unique in American history, is to get out of the Oval Office and go to the people and make it clear that we cannot tolerate a government which is owned and controlled by big money interests. And that the only way we make real change is when millions of people stand up and fight back. That's the president that I would be.
So if one of those senators or Congress people is taking money from pharmaceutical companies, health insurance companies, and standing in the way of getting health care coverage for every American, you would pressure them and you would point out that systematic corruption?
More than pressure them. They would see me in their home states. Look, we are the only major country that doesn't guarantee health care to all. We're spending twice as much per capita on health care. It's got to change. 30,000 people a year die because they don't go to the doctor when they should. So if your question is, will I go to West Virginia? Will I go to Colorado? Will I go to any other state and rally the people of those states to put pressure on the United States Senate? Yeah, I will.
So this is exactly why Bernie Sanders is feared by the establishment more than any other candidate. Even someone like Elizabeth Warren, who largely is progressive on her positions apart from foreign policy issues, Warren is not willing to do this. You even see people like Neera Tanden, who you will not see praise Bernie in a million years, praise Elizabeth Warren, because even Neera Tanden knows the only real threat to the establishment, to someone like Neera Tanden and her position in politics, is Bernie Sanders, because Bernie is willing to challenge the system. As he says here, quote, "I will more than pressure them. They'll see me in their home states." That's one of the most important things that Bernie has said so far in his campaign. He is willing to go to the home states of these Democratic senators like Joe Manchin, who will never support Medicare for all, and rally his voters there and put political pressure on Joe Manchin to support a Medicare for all bill. No other president, at least in recent memory, has been willing to do this. Now, Donald Trump has kind of done this a bit. He's held rallies all across the country, but it's mostly to talk about or complain about Democrats, and mostly, let's be honest, to lie and to make himself feel good. But Bernie doing this kind of thing would be doing it for a reason, would be doing it to actually help people, to pass something like Medicare for all. So this is not a strategy you will see from anybody else. This is Bernie's political revolution. This is what it is, rallying people all around the country to pass various bills, to put political pressure on these politicians that are not supporting those bills. Now, I also have to say here, this was if you watch the whole interview, it's a very refreshing interview. I mean, it's incredible to watch Bernie get questions that aren't about, oh, I can't believe you're a socialist, or how are you going to pay for this? He actually gets questions from Cenk Uygur here that people want to know the answers to, but we never get to hear them because the questions from like MSNBC or CNN are always framed from a center-right position. So by actually having questions framed from a left-wing position, it's you get more information from Bernie than you normally are used to seeing. So I'm going to link to the full interview below my video so you can check out the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what sets Bernie Sanders apart.